What if 2026 turns out to be the greatest year for isekai and fantasy anime we've ever seen? We're not talking about random filler shows. We're talking legendary sequels, beloved series making long-awaited comebacks, and brand new worlds that could define this genre for years to come. From overpowered reincarnations to brutal war stories to fantasy settings that feel more alive than real life, your watchlist is about to get very full. Here are the top 10 most anticipated isekai and fantasy anime you absolutely cannot miss in 2026. Starting things off at number 10, As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, Season 3. This one breaks the usual isekai mold in the best way possible. Ours isn't your typical overpowered hero blowing through enemies with flashy magic. His real power is something far more interesting, the ability to recognize hidden talent in others. Rather than becoming a one-man army, he builds one. And honestly, that kind of strategic thinking is far more dangerous than any spell. By the end of Season 2, ours had stepped into a much bigger political arena, alliances forming, tensions rising, and enemies growing smarter. Season 3 is where everything escalates. Expect deep strategy, power struggles, calculated betrayals, and a carefully planned rise to dominance. This is less about winning fights and more about outsmarting everyone in the room. If you're done with instant power fantasies and want something that actually makes you think, this is exactly what you've been waiting for. Season 3 officially drops in October 2026. Coming in at number 9, Hell Mode, Season 2. This anime truly lives up to its name. Imagine being reincarnated into a fantasy world, and then voluntarily choosing the hardest hidden difficulty setting. No shortcuts, no assistance, just pure, unrelenting grind. And this guy actually sticks with it. Season 1 was deliberately brutal, slow progress, constant setbacks, and a pace that tested your patience. But that was the whole point. Season 2 is where the payoff finally arrives. All that suffering starts to matter. The gap he's built over time becomes impossible to ignore. And when power is truly earned rather than handed to you, it just hits on a completely different level. If you drop the show early, Season 2 is exactly the reason you should go back. The grind was the setup. This is the reward. Hell Mode Season 2 officially arrives in July 2026. At number 8, Reincarnated as a Sword, Season 2. Yes, a guy gets reincarnated as a sword. It sounds ridiculous, but give it just a few episodes, because this story hits harder than almost anything else on this list. At the heart of it is Fran, a beast girl who has been treated as less than nothing her entire life, until she finds a sentient sword that doesn't just give her strength, but genuinely believes in her worth as a person. Season 1 built that emotional foundation beautifully, charting her journey from powerless to unstoppable. But Season 2 goes even deeper. It explores her painful past, uncovers the truth behind the Black Cat clan, and pushes her growth into territory the first season only hinted at. The bond between Fran and her sword isn't just a cool dynamic, it's genuinely moving. Don't let the strange premise fool you. This one delivers both the hype and the heart. Reincarnated as a Sword Season 2 is officially set for October 2026. Coming in at number 7, and easily one of the biggest wildcards of the year, Red River. This isn't your typical modern isekai. It's based on a legendary manga that fans have been waiting years, decades, even, to see properly animated. A completely ordinary girl gets pulled into ancient Anatolia and immediately thrown into a world of royal politics, large-scale warfare, and dangerous power struggles. Layered on top of that is a slow-burn romance that actually develops with patience and real weight behind it. This story isn't just about action or adventure. It's about strategy, emotional depth, and genuine character growth over time. For longtime fans of the original manga, this adaptation is a dream finally being realized. For newcomers, it's a rare opportunity to experience a story that helped define what isekai could be, long before the genre became what it is today. Red River is officially set to premiere in July 2026. Sliding in at number 6, Skeleton Knight in Another World, Season 2. This one is seriously underrated, and 2026 might finally be the year it gets the recognition it deserves. Our protagonist wakes up inside a game, stuck in his max-level character's body, which happens to be a literal skeleton. If that sounds like Overlord, hold on, because the energy here is completely different. Instead of cold domination and world conquest, this show blends humor with surprisingly dark and grounded storytelling. It's less about ruling everything and more about surviving a dangerous world without losing the good person underneath the terrifying exterior. He looks like a final boss. He acts like a genuinely decent guy. And that contrast is where all the charm lives. Season 1 set the tone perfectly, but Season 2 promises more lore, higher stakes, and a much darker look at the world he's navigating. If you slept on this one, now is the time to catch up. Skeleton Knight Season 2 officially arrives in July 2026. At number 5, Saga of Tanya the Evil, Season 2. This one has been a long time coming. After the original season back in 2017 and the follow-up film in 2019, fans have been waiting for years. Now, Tanya is finally back, and she is not someone you want to keep waiting. She's not your typical isekai protagonist, a ruthless, calculating salaryman reborn as a young girl in a world consumed by war, cold, tactically brilliant, and fighting purely to win rather than to be anyone's hero. That's what makes her one of the most compelling anti-heroes the genre has ever produced. This isn't isekai dressed up as war. This is full-scale war, strategy, politics, survival, and consequences. Season 2 picks up directly after the film, with a larger conflict, higher stakes, and her ongoing clash with the being she holds responsible for her situation. Saga of Tanya the Evil Season 2 is officially set for July 2026. At number 4, Magical Explorer. This one has one of the most creative setups of the year. A devoted fan of an adult dating sim gets reincarnated into the game itself, but not as the main character. He ends up as Kosuke Takayuki, the forgettable best friend. The guy who's basically written into the story to stand in the background and do nothing important. But instead of accepting that fate, he uses his encyclopedic knowledge of the game to completely flip the script. Optimizing stats, exploiting mechanics, and systematically turning himself from a throwaway side character into someone the entire story has to take seriously. What makes this stand out is how genuinely clever it is with its own concept. It's not just funny, it's smart. Magical Explorer is set to drop in October 2026. Coming in at number 3, Reborn as a Space Mercenary. This one is genuinely refreshing, and it's near the top of this list for a reason. Finally, an isekai that isn't locked into the same medieval fantasy template. The protagonist gets reincarnated with detailed knowledge of a space opera game and builds his new life as a mercenary. Taking contracts, navigating deadly factions, and surviving in a universe where one wrong move can end everything. What makes this hit differently from everything else on the list is the sheer scale. We're talking entire star systems, massive spaceships, and battles fought with laser fire instead of swords. It feels enormous in a way that most isekai simply don't attempt. If you've ever thought the genre was stuck in the same world over and over again, this is your answer. Reborn as a Space Mercenary is officially set for October 2026. At number 2, Trapped in a Dating Sim, Season 2. Season 1 of this show was one of the most entertaining isekai surprises in recent memory, and Season 2 is shaping up to be even bigger. Leon gets reincarnated into a brutal dating sim, not as the hero, not as a love interest, but as a completely irrelevant background character. The entire world is built to revolve around someone else, and Leon absolutely does not care. He's cynical, completely checked out, and just wants to survive. But in doing so, he ends up tearing the system apart piece by piece. Season 1 nailed the chaos. Watching him expose the elite class and turn a nobody into an unpredictable wildcard was genuinely great. Season 2 raises the stakes significantly, introducing new factions, bigger conflicts, and expanding the world well beyond the academy setting. Trapped in a Dating Sim Season 2 is set to drop in October 2026. And at number 1, Mushoku Tensei, Season 3. This isn't just the top pick on this list. For a lot of people, this is the most important isekai release in years. Mushoku Tensei isn't a story about chasing power or collecting abilities. It's a story about growth, regret, and the weight of real consequences. Rudius isn't trying to become the strongest. He's trying to become a better person, after spending his entire first life as someone he's not proud of. Season 3 marks one of the most pivotal turning points in his entire journey. The decisions he makes here aren't the kind you can walk back. They shape his future in permanent ways. And that's exactly what has made this series so compelling from the beginning, the feeling that everything matters. Mushoku Tensei Season 3 premieres on July 6, 2026. Do not miss it.